Let's separate ourselves and become that dynasty that this organization is building.
We're trying to make this thing something that people will never forget.
Whenever we step on that field, you will know stagnation.
It's about continuing to build a legacy on and off the field.
We're going to give them an opportunity to work in there. They're going to help teach them while we're trying to teach them at the same time.
The Kansas City Chiefs, after 2 weeks of the 2022 season, are the only undefeated team left in the AFC West, but they face a big challenge this week at Indianapolis. Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Holtis, and welcome to this edition of Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider. We have a great show to get you ready for this Colts showdown. Clyde Edwards is off to a terrific start, both as a runner and as a receiver. And we have Juju Smith-Schuster wired up. He made a key block to spring Clyde Edwards-Helaire on a 52-yard run the Chiefs needed in the 4-minute offense in the win over the Chargers. On Kingdom Conversations, Matt McMullen, senior team reporter, will join me. We take a real close look at the Colts, who are off to a disappointing 0-1-1 start. We'll also look at maybe the LeBron James of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Danna. You will not want to miss his basketball exploits, the Chiefs' third-year defensive end. But first, let's take a look back at an exhilarating victory over the Chargers with a 27-24 win featuring one of the top defensive plays in Kansas City Chiefs history.
Arrowhead has been rocking for 50 years, no exception tonight, and if this game lives up to expectations, we're in for a beauty in Kansas City.
Chargers. Chiefs first and goal at the 9. Mahomes will throw it. Looking left, now spins to his right. He is going to pump fake it, trying to get to the outside. Now fires it sidearm, caught, and into the end zone. McKinnon, touchdown! Kansas City on a 9-yard touchdown. Improvisation, and the Chiefs are 7 of 7 in the red zone in 2022.
That's how you fly. We play our best ball. We let our emotions roll. We play our best ball. Drive right there, cruising. We take it. No. It's on us. Let's go.
Colts 17, Chiefs 7. Midway through the third quarter, snap to the face mask of Mahomes. Mahomes throws it late. He's got Justin Watson. Catch in the end zone. Touchdown! Justin Watson gets free, and Mahomes finds him for a 41-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah. Let's do one, bud. Good job. Big job. Good boy. Big job.
Third down and 10 for the Chargers. They lead by 3. Chiefs are blitzing. Herbert is sacked back at the 2-yard line on a blitz. Chris Jones makes a huge play. Herbert had no chance. Tied at 17. Chargers marching. Chargers go without a huddle again. Right side drive intercepted on the left side. Picked up by Watson. Watson can go all the way. The 7th-round pick. 20, 15, 10. Jalen Watson gets a 100-yard pick 6 for a touchdown. Kansas City at 10:29 to go in the game.
Keep trying. You the best, boy. You the best.
27-24 Chiefs. Chiefs will have to get their hands team on the field. Hopkins tries the onside kick. No, it's loose, but the Chiefs, I think, may have it on the second attempt. And Noah Gray recovers it for Kansas City. And the Chiefs, after trailing in this game 10-0 and 17-7, are going to get a huge AFC West victory on a Thursday night to open up the 50th season of GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Coming up, Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be under the helmet, and we'll take a look at Mike Danna, from the basketball court to getting sacks in the National Football League. Chiefs Insider is brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. And your Midwest Ford dealers, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the show. Clyde Edwards-Helaire started this season opening the door with a big run against the Arizona Cardinals. And he shut the door on the Chargers with a big 52-yard run in the Chiefs' 4-minute offense. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is healthy and playing with a lot of confidence. Let's go under the helmet with the Chiefs' former first-round draft pick.
I used the quote, I want to say like yesterday or the day before with my friend. I was like, man, it feel like I'm playing more inside out from my helmet more than outside in. I felt like everything the last 2 years, it just felt like, you know, I was a shell of myself and really just trying to get the swing of everything and become a professional. And it's really those things away from the field that gets you over that edge or over that hump. This was my first real offseason being able to get the training that I feel like I needed, getting my body the way I felt like, you know, would have been optimal just for this season and really just finding a weight and really just pinpointing the things that I really wanted to get done. It's something Coach Reed and I talked about at the end of year 2 for my exit meeting. I feel a lot better, and I know I would feel a lot better if I'm able to do the things that I need to do and want to do during the offseason in order to become, you know, the player that I feel like I am and the player that I need to be for the Chiefs. Now I'm the head of the room per se and still the youngest guy in the room, so it's different, but we knew where we lined up at and we wanted to be in top 5 in everything this year. That was something that I put my mind on. When Jet signed and we knew he was coming back, there was something that he knew that we needed to get done, and as soon as we knew Tim was coming, Pop was coming, first call, man, I had with him was like, man, we hop in and we roll, bro.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the running back. He'll get it on a right side run. Breaks a tackle, 20, 25, into the secondary, flag on the play. Edwards-Helaire at midfield. He's at the 40 of the Chargers and slides down on his hip. It is a 52-yard run.
I wouldn't even say that I really felt emotional about the play at the time. It was more of executing the time of what I felt like needed to be done. The play call came in. I knew it was 4-minute offense. Only thing I was thinking was not go out of bounds and do my job. You know, this is why I was here, to pretty much, you know, come in and do the things I need to do, you know, quarters 1 through 3, but being able to put the ball in someone's hands and make sure that win is secure at the end. Having faith in somebody and trusting in somebody, that's really what the offense, that time period, the off season, everything kind of boils down to certain moments. That was one of them, just me feeling like, you know, ice in the game and pretty much putting the nail in the coffin.
The Colts, kind of a must-win situation. They're back at home. Like, I'm actually more nervous for Sunday than I have been for the prior 2 games.
Very stout defense, man. They have a very good front 7. Guys flying around to the ball, great speed. So it's something that kind of popped out on the film as soon as I turned it on. As far as you know, the things that we're going to try to do, I'm going to hound in on it these next couple of days and, you know, going to hit the ground rolling.
Arrowhead has been rocking for 50 years, no exception tonight. And if this game lives up to expectations, we're in for a beauty in Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
Nice to see you again.
Great job communicating personnel on and off the field.
Yeah, we'll do.
They play action fake. They throw a pass right side, caught, touchdown. Second straight week, Xander Horvath.
We got y'all, D. We got y'all, D. We got y'all.
Might be a free play for Mahomes. He'll try to use it left. Caught. Kelsey at the 10-yard line, upended to the 9. Juju Smith-Schuster trots in motion. Mahomes will throw it. Looking left, now spins to his right. He is going to pump fake it, trying to get to the outside. Now fires it sidearm, caught, and into the end zone. McKinnon, touchdown!
Yeah, good. They be hitting, boy. Our defense be hitting.
Hey, let's put one together, man.
We're going together right here.
Yup, let's get it.
First down throw again. They work it to the outside. Smith-Schuster with the catch and 2 Chargers waiting on him.
You good, boy? Yeah, healthy? Yeah.
Snap to the face mask of Mahomes. Furious rush. Mahomes throws it late. He's got Justin Watson. Catch in the end zone. Touchdown! Kansas City.
Yeah, boy.
Tied at 17. Chargers marching. Chargers go without a huddle again. Right side trying intercepted on the left side. Picked up by Watson. Watson can go all the way. The second pick. 20, 15, 10, 5. Jalen Watson.
He said he was going to do this too. Bro, the crowd's going crazy. Let's finish this game out, boys.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the running back. He'll get it on a right side run. Breaks a tackle, 20, 25, into the secondary. Edwards-Helaire at midfield. He's at the 40 of the Chargers and slides down on his hip. It is a 52-yard run.
I pull out the Jessies tonight.
What's going on, boy?
The jet skis out tonight.
And the Chiefs, after trailing in this game 10-0 and 17-7, are going to get a huge AFC West victory on a Thursday night.
And welcome to Kingdom Conversations. I'm joined now by senior team reporter Matt McMullen. The Chiefs are the only undefeated team left in the AFC West after 2 weeks, and now they will take on a determined, dug-in, and desperate foe in the Indianapolis Colts, who are a surprising 0-1-1.
Really rough start for them so far. 0-1-1. Just a disaster last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They hate going to Jacksonville. They have lost 8 straight games in Jacksonville, but to lose 24-0 with all the hopes the Colts had coming into this season, not a good start for them. This game will not be easy for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have looked good so far, but this Colts team is fighting for their season. The Chiefs need to go in with a determined mindset and make sure they take care of business.
Yeah, we've seen what the Colts do when they're desperate. They're notoriously bad starters. Under Frank Reich, in the first 3 weeks of the season, they're 5-8-1, and yet they rally. And so this will be a determined foe that the Chiefs will face. Let's be honest, they were missing wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr., their top wide receiver. They were missing the artist formerly known as Darius Leonard, now he's Shaquille Leonard. And they were missing their rookie out of University of Cincinnati, Alec Pierce, who we talked about during our draft analysis. So they were missing some key pieces against the Jags.
That's where they take pride in their team, is in the trenches. But in the trenches is where they have lost these games recently, and against the Jags, that was really on full display. Look at Matt Ryan, the time that he had in the pocket. He didn't have much time at all. He really struggled under pressure in that game against the Jaguars. He was 2 of 9 for 18 yards and 3 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. He just never had a chance. And we talk about Jonathan Taylor and what they want to do on offense, running the football, but Taylor only had 9 carries in that game. Really couldn't get going either. So both the running game and their pass protection really struggled up front. That's the root of their issues so far.
Well, let's be honest, too. On Monday afternoon, the Chiefs were given notice that Willie Gay Jr. will be suspended by the NFL for 4 games. So that puts pressure on the linebackers here, and I think that's where the Colts will go. Now, the Chiefs can do a variety of things there. We know they can play extra safeties, and Spags likes to do that anyway. But the linebackers will have to be on alert, whomever those linebackers are.
Now, you mentioned Michael Pittman earlier. That's really the big question mark coming into this game. Will he play? Because this Colts passing game is entirely bent on Michael Pittman. He is the primary guy on this offense in the passing game. In that Week 1 game, before he got hurt, he had 121 yards through the air. That was a third of Matt Ryan's production, and a bulk of that is slants over the middle, short passes that are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. So for the linebackers in this game, it's not just covering Jonathan Taylor, it's also watching for Michael Pittman if he plays when he's coming over the middle.
And speaking of defense and linebackers, Darius Leonard announced in training camp that he would not be Darius Leonard anymore. He would be Shaquille Leonard. But whatever you call him, you have to call him one of the NFL's top tacklers, which he has been since 2018. They missed him in the loss to Jacksonville. Now, this is a defense they spent a lot of money on, too, trying to piece it all together. But if Leonard's out, it makes a big difference to this defense. But if he's in, look for the Colts to be very feisty at all 3 levels defensively.
Yeah, he's very important to this defense. He's their leader. He's their captain. This was the number 9 overall scoring defense in the NFL last season, and he's a big reason why they were good. It's because he was the one calling all the shots. He's the quarterback of this defense. So if he can't play, that's a very, very big deal. There are a lot of really good players on this defense, though, particularly in the trenches. Guys like DeForest Buckner, Yannick Ngakoue, Kwity Paye, and they were pretty good in Week 1, but they really struggled to get any pressure on Trevor Lawrence in that loss to the Jaguars. Just 4 hurries in that game. That's unheard of from this Colts defense with all those big names on the defensive line. Their inability to get pressure on Lawrence led to his best day as a professional. He's getting the ball out quick. And for Patrick Mahomes, if he can get the ball out quick in this game, and if the Colts can't get pressure, it'll be a long day for this Colts defense.
This is a team that plays with a lot of pride. The kicking game is interesting, too. They basically fired Rodrigo Blankenship with an ugly miss in overtime that led to the tie with the Houston Texans. I'm kind of trying to get a feel for where the Colts are in special teams, and usually they emphasize it because I know the way Chris Ballard puts an importance on special teams.
Yeah, and when you look at teams that are struggling so far this season, the margin for error in the NFL is so slim that you can find those little areas like special teams, things not going well on special teams, and you can point to that and say, this this is one of the reasons that this team has struggled. And I think if you look at the Colts so far, their slow start, their special teams not being solidified early on is a big reason why they haven't been very good. And for the Chiefs, how lucky are we? I mean, Harrison Butker, one of the best kickers in the game, gets hurt in week 1. No problem. Bring in Matt Amendola in week 2, and he nails a couple of field goals and is perfect on extra points. It's really kind of a metaphor, I think, for a 2-0 start for the Chiefs and an 0-1-1 start for the Colts, is special teams being solid in Kansas City and not so good right now for the Colts.
And let's don't leave Tommy Townsend out of this. In all of the discussion of the Chargers' victory, he was hardly mentioned. Tommy Townsend was brilliant in that game. It was one of the single-game best kicking performances as a punter in Chiefs history. Flipping the field, being damaging, and basically took a possession away from the Chargers at the end of the half.
Yeah, after the game, I was looking at him just going, 74? 74? Are you kidding me? That's the longest punt for any player in a game this season, and the third longest since the beginning of last season. Just remarkable stuff from Tommy Townsend. You never want to punt, but if you have to, you want a capable guy back there who can be a weapon and pin the opponent way back on the other side of the field. That's what Tommy Townsend is.
There's a math stat for you, but I'll give it from Mitch here. Patrick Mahomes is the Chiefs quarterback. If the Chiefs hold their opponents to less than 27 points, is 45-1. The only loss? The Colts in 2019 in a 19-13 loss at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. This is going to be a tough one. The Colts are desperate. The Chiefs want to go 3-0. Coming up, can a speed rusher also dunk a basketball? You don't want to miss our look at Mike Danna, Chiefs defensive end.
Growing up, man, I played basketball as my first sport. You know, I really got into basketball, soccer, then bowling. You know, I was on the bowling team. I really think I got all my athleticism from the basketball court, man. You know, being able to play positions 1 through 5. Growing up, man, it was a lot of playing street ball. You know, you just had to do something. You know, you couldn't be out on the street. You know, my parents didn't really condone that. They wanted me to be out, you know, with my friends at a hoop or at a soccer field, doing something, being productive, you know. I grew up in the inner city of Detroit, the youngest out of 5. What I can say, man, is that my parents really took good care of me, my brothers, my sisters. You know, it kept us in situations where we didn't have to worry about, you know, our environment or being a product of our environment, you know. Growing up, I picked up the basketball thinking I was going to be in the NBA. I had hoop dreams, everything, man. I'm talking like I wanted to be the next Shaq or the next Kobe, one of them guys, man. It didn't come to about like my junior year, I realized that it was time to put down the basketball and start taking football serious. Took my shot, bet on myself. I guess I made the right decision, you know? I was more like the mid-range, low post, elbow, spot up, whatever, but I ain't really, my coach ain't let me shoot threes. You know, every time I try to shoot a 3, he put me on the bench, so I got that out of my system early. I wasn't like Steph Curry or, you know, them type of guys. You know, going into my 3rd year, man, in the NFL, I just feel like I lived multiple lives. There's never a day where I take it for granted. You know, I'm always appreciative. These years fly by, man. I try to enjoy every single day, every single week, because before you know it, it'll be year 5 or year 6, and who knows where everybody will be. But I love our D-line room. I got close with a bunch of guys, you know. Them my guys, man. And going into this year, it's a lot of expectations, man. You know, we got the new coach, and Joe Cullen. He's a great coach, great guy. My expectation is to have a career year, man, whether it's career year in tackles, sacks. I just want to be a good teammate and do what I got to do for the team, because that's what the NFL is about. It's a team sport. It's not always about individual goals, individual accomplishments or whatever. I want to do what's best for the team and whatever is going to help the team win, and that's kind of what type of player I am, man, you know?
Chiefs Insider is brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. And your Midwest Ford dealers. the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Thanks for joining us on this week's show. The Chiefs again with a tough battle on the road this week against the Indianapolis Colts, led by one of the top runners in the National Football League in Jonathan Taylor. Next week, the tough slate continues. The Chiefs will be on Sunday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and another chapter in the Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes duel. We'll get you ready for that game right here on Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider.